meeting is being recorded now, just so you all know. So we'll be able to share with one who is or isn't in the room afterwards. So it is now 7:39. We are going to give a little bit more time for more people to come in, and then we're going to get started. Okay. Let's see, anybody else in the house? We heard from Corel, we heard from Ms. Portia Sands from the Division of Culture, Jay, Matthew, of course, Trevon's here, Lovato. Anybody else? Ophir, where are you from? What do you do? Tara, what do you do? Let us know. We got a little bit of time. Renee, how you guys doing tonight? Y'all, I don't like talking to myself. Forgive me. Hey, girl. Hope all is well with you. Brianna Russell, she's a filmmaker from New Providence. Hey, Ophir from Nassau, but she's in Canada. Awesome. She's an actor and upcoming filmmaker. Awesome. I miss your face too, girl, Renee. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Indy, how you doing, girl? I hope you're ready to start this discussion. I know I'm excited to see, you know, and hear what we're gonna do and what we're gonna talk about with your discussion. Hey, girl. All right. Jasmine Anderson. Hey, girl, from Nassau. She's a writer. Ooh, Jasmine should connect. Maybe let's put some handles in the chat too, so we can, you know, filmmaking, the whole industry, the whole entertainment industry is all about networking. If anybody has gone to film school like me and Lovato, Full Sail, you know, networking or die. So definitely connect with everybody here. That's how we're gonna build this industry, all right? That is exactly how we're gonna do it. Jay Johnson, FSF on everything. Awesome. We got Tara. Yes, Tara is director, producer. She is the CEO of Cinemorpsis. Yes. Matthew, what? We got the amazing Lovato, who's based in Nassau and Toronto. He is director, writer, and producer of Kunk Boy Films. Come on, you guys know. We got Stephanie here in the house. We're going to be hearing from her soon. But drop your handles. Let's drop our handles in there so we can connect. That's how we're going to build this thing. Alrighty, well, I think, y'all, I'm not sure if I'm being impatient, but I think we should get started. Let me look at our list and see who is here. Miss Portia Sands, Division of Culture. Is it okay if we put you on, hi Jeffrey Mackey, excuse me, writer, director, and cinematographer. But Miss Portia, is it okay if we put you on Spotlight just to talk about, you know, the Division of Culture and what does that play for filmmakers and thespians like us? Are you able to and your video maybe?
Good evening, everyone. I can unmute my mic, but unfortunately not my video. I've had a hard day.
No worries.
Just got in from work and still now on the call with you guys. I'm here because I believe filming is very important. I'm very passionate about culture. I'm also passionate about filmmaking. My son and I, with zero experience, did a short film in the midst of COVID with teenagers from church, and we had a wonderful time. It ignited a passion in all of the young people, as a matter of fact, to start to think about the opportunities in filmmaking. But I'm here in the capacity of Assistant Director of the Division of Cultural Affairs. And I just wanted to give a shout out to all of our creatives to let you know that we are working for you diligently. And we want to see the industry boom. Okay. And I just want to give you just a couple of tidbits as to what we are dealing with right now. First of all, we have our National Cultural Registry, And we are encouraging all creatives to sign up with the National Cultural Registry. It's free. The link is on the Division of Culture Bahamas Facebook page. You click on the link, you fill in the blanks, and you submit. Once you are a part of the registry, we can find you very easily. We know who you are, what you're doing, where you are. Once we find out opportunities, international opportunities, funding, grant, professional development, capacity building, we can shoot that information to you as quickly as possible because we know who you are, we know what you're doing, what your interests are. And of course, we have small grants. And first of all, you need to, if you want a small grant from us, you have to be a part of our cultural registry. So we want to encourage all of you to join the cultural registry. For those of you that are writers, we have just sent out a call for scripts for short stories. We are producing a national anthology of short stories. And so the call for scripts have gone out today. The information, I'm not sure if it's on our Facebook pages yet, but it will be. It will be in dailies, and I'm sure you will see it circulating. It's already going around, making its rounds in WhatsApp and all the other groups. So, and we are waiting for the submission of short stories. If selected, there will be a compensation. And the most exciting thing that I want to bring to you, it's the newest and the most exciting. We are in talks with UCLA for a film and script writing course program. They are very eager to work with us until the possibilities are. I'm very excited about it. They've given us several options. If a cohort to come there for a week, 2 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, a year, they're willing to work with us. They're willing to work virtually. They're willing to partner with an institution here on the ground, and we are looking possibly for a partnership on the ground. But the idea of spending at least 1 or 2 weeks on campus at UCLA at the end. So this is very much in the making, and you will see a survey come out. So we want to find out from our creatives what is most convenient for them. So we send out a survey in that regard. You will say, listen, I prefer we do it virtual on weekends, or I prefer to go on campus for 2 weeks. Okay. So we'll send out to get feedback from you, and even some suggested topics too, because the interests will vary. So we will also send that out as well with a basic course outline, people their interests are. So those are just some of the things that we have in the making for this aspect of culture. We have a whole lot of other things going on, but I'm very excited about what is happening. I'm so pleased to see that you're gathered here tonight, and I wish you all the best. I want to say congratulations publicly to Stephanie Nayon and Gumbe Kids. Oh my goodness. I had an opportunity to work with them on one of their senior programs, and it was excellent. So I just want to say congratulations to her and the work that she's doing. So pleasant evening and have a productive meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Oh my goodness, that is amazing news, guys. This is before you leave, or at least turn your mic off, can you give us that link one more time, or at least let us know where we can find the grant section, or what is that we need to fill out and get connected to? I think you've said the directory.
Cultural registry.
National culture.
The link is fairly long, so
okay.
It's best to go to the Facebook page for Division of Culture Bahamas.
Culture Bahamas. Put that in the
yes, Division of Culture Bahamas, and the link there. The National Cultural Registry. The link is there.
Okay. Awesome. No, this is amazing stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Excited to see our industry grow and also with the government and yourself, Mrs. Sand. So thank you again for your time and so that, we're able to connect you.
Yeah.
And great. Thank you so much. I hope you stay on for a little bit longer. You had a long day, but
yes, beyond for
all right.
okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you as well.
Oh, we got Miss Moya in the house. And please forgive me, I forgot to mention the lovely Mrs. Tatton. I'm sure you guys know that beautiful lady. But thank you, and everyone who is still joining. We got Travis. Thank you all so much for. Before we move on to our next section, which I'm sure everybody wants to know but what is BASA doing? Let's find out if we have anybody else, whether it's from, I think we had some invitations to Fusion Superplex, Rev Bahamas, ILTV Studios, and the Dundas. Do we have any representatives here with us to give a few before we move on? All right, if you unmute your mic. Do we have anyone from the Film Commission? I don't see Clarence or Wendell. Alrighty, well, let's just hope that they're gonna come in a little bit later so that we can hear from them. But we're gonna move on. Mr. Are you ready to give us some updates? I'm sure a lot of us are here. We got some great news coming up, right?
Hi.
There you go.
Hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome. Good evening, all. I'm very happy that all of our creatives can meet once again to further our dreams of really expressing ourselves on the big screen or the big stage. So really what we've been doing at BASA is trying to get into position to allow us to compete on the global market. And one of the first things we needed to do was to come together. There's strength in unity. So that's going to be the thing, that's going to be the core thing that we need. So BASA is trying to make sure that we all know who we are, we all understand our value, and then from then we can push out into the world. We have to have an understanding of who we are first. We have to, even when it comes to our stories, we need to have an understanding of who we are if we're going to sell ourselves as unique. I've been in many pitch sessions when I once thought that saying that I'm from the Bahamas and saying that we have sun, sand, and sea was going to be my ticket. And come to find out, the commentators would say, so, okay, and what else? So we as creatives need to be able to understand the unique things about ourselves, work amongst each other so that we can truly make what we're doing here something that people around the world are coming here to see, instead of us just wanting to be a part of what's going on out there. I think it needs to be a two-way street. So what BASA has been doing, so great news, BASA has gotten an incorporation through. And what this means is that we're moving in the nonprofit status towards creating an organization that's going to be able to write for grants. How does that benefit you? Filmmakers, persons who are playwrights, persons who are putting on stage plays. We need money, and we are wanting to be one of those partners that are going to be able to make sure that worthy projects have the funding they need. There's nothing like a project that is underfunded. And it's nothing like trying to, I mean, we have actually made cultural components by scrapping up some things in some newspaper and making our own junk canoe. But sometimes too, we do need the resources to compete in the global marketplace. So we're going to try to at least allow creatives to have that support, along with some of the other agencies that are around. So as we're working on that, we are also making a push towards educating filmmakers, training them towards a global marketplace approach. So right now, funding has always been an issue. So we want to be able to say, look, let's get every filmmaker, let's get every playwright on a level where you're able to talk to investors from around the world. You're able to understand financing, gap financing, equity financing. You're able to understand how to find the money to make your projects come alive. We need to make sure that this isn't the excuse. This isn't the walking stick going into 2023. We need to all become educated in understanding how to enter emerging markets, whether that's Netflix, whether that's Disney, whether that's any other streaming companies, whether that's a big screen. We need to be able to get into play ball in those areas. And we need to also understand and listen to what the community is saying. Our previous works, our themes that we have been using in the past, have they been effective? Have we reached out to the audiences that we wanted to reach out to? So BASA is going to be focusing on making sure that the package that we're putting out to the world, even before it's filmed, we are competitive. Art-wise, business-wise, that's what we're going to be making our focus in 2022. Getting you ready to be able to pitch great projects, because we're going to be able to have the financing soon to make those things come alive. All right. So that's really our focus. As updates come, we'll let you know. But right now, the goal is we're going to get loud. We have to get loud, and we have to make sure that we don't have to rely on other people to say we're doing something great. We don't have to rely on somebody else to say that Lovato is good and Ariana is good and Moya is good. No, we have to do it within our own community first. And we're going to be loud and we're going to toot our own horn this year. All right, so that's all the updates. And I'm going to give it back over to Director Ariana.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Siobhan, for that. We appreciate you and all the efforts that you've been doing, and all of our other directors. We have some past directors in the room, and I did not set protocol. For those who do not know me, my name is Ariana Roberts. I am the founder and producer at Artistic Soul Production Studio, ASPS. And we are based in Freeport, but we do work pretty much all over. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get back to business. Thanks again, Siobhan. So we're gonna move it right along. I think polls. Yeah, Matthew, Siobhan, y'all ready? So this is interactive, guys. We're gonna have the poll up, and you guys can choose what you think. This is gonna help us help you. So Siobhan, take it away. Matthew, do you want to come on and let us know what we're looking at?
Okay, so we had intended on using the poll feature on the Zoom, but we're gonna have to do this manually. So guys, just locate your chat boxes and we'll have to come back and get the information as we go. All right, so I'm just gonna ask a couple of questions, and what we're going to do is just put down the answer, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna review your answers, and we'll be able to use these polls and discussions to come. Maybe even once we've tallied them up, we'd use them in this discussion once Indira gets started. Okay, so the first question: as a creative professional, what is currently your biggest need? As a creative professional, what is currently your biggest need? So you're going to put that answer in the chat box. I'm going to give you 6 seconds to put that in, and then we're going to move on to the next question. I see that. Yes, money, funding, gear. Yes. I see some stuff still coming in. Okay. So as you put those in, I'm going to move on to the second question. As a creative professional for this year, are you in production? And if so, what stage of production are you in? As a creative professional, are you in production at the moment? And what stage of production are you in? I'm gonna give you 10 more seconds for that. The third question, do you feel adequately equipped to pursue and secure financing for your project? Do you feel adequately equipped to pursue and secure financing for your projects? See a lot of no's, see a lot of negatives. All right, I see one yes. I see two yes. I see it depends. So I'm going to move on to the next question. Question 4. What is the primary funding source of your projects? What is the primary funding source of your projects? Some people do it themselves. Some people go get government funding. Some persons get private funding. Some persons borrow from the bank. What is your primary source of funding for your projects? Sponsorships, corporate companies, self. Fundraising, private funding, sales. Okay. Private donors. So the next question is this. Do you find getting employment for your creative talent harder than for your regular traditional skills? Do you find getting employment for creative talent harder than for regular traditional skills? Is it harder to land that acting job? Is it harder to land that editing job? Is it harder to land that producer's job? Is it harder to get that script supervisor job? First AC, be the person to paint the backdrops for the set. Is it hard? I see a couple no's. I see some people there. They're making it. They're making it. Okay. Have you found it difficult to gain a role for which you are qualified on an international production? Have you found it difficult to gain a role for which you are qualified for? Not if you ain't qualified and you don't know nothing about it. Roles that you are qualified for on international productions. Have you found it difficult to gain a role for which you are qualified for on an international production? As Tyler Perry said, you're the person I want to, be in this particular role. As was the gentleman that produced the Oscars, the Alpha Man. He says, "Look, you can take this on as an assistant producer." Bill Parker, yes, yes. So this is just a yes or no question. Can you easily articulate the value you bring to a production and how it translates to a bottom line? Can you easily articulate the value you bring to a production and how does it translate to a bottom line and how it translates to a bottom line? So if you are on a production, will they do better? Will they make more money? Do you understand the value that you bring to a production? Give you 10 more seconds. Can you name, the last question at the moment is, can you name a profitable production for any of the 3 years preceding the pandemic? Can you name a profitable production that you've worked on for any of the 3 years preceding the pandemic? Maybe you haven't worked on it. Maybe you just know about it. Can you name a profitable production, something that you've made money from, not lost money on? You know, sometimes we creatives can be very good at losing money. So yes, you can say yes or no. Oh, I can't remember that far back.
Renee.
Okay, so I'm going to give 10 more seconds, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Director Ariana, and then we'll tally this up. Okay, great. So thank you all for your participation. I'm going to hand this over to Director Ariana.
Oh, alrighty. Thank y'all so much. I think from looking at these on and everybody, we ain't doing too shabby. We doing all right. We just gotta network and you know, get together a little bit more. What y'all think? What y'all say? I think so. Okay. So we're gonna move on now. My girl Indy in the house is gonna lead this discussion with y'all. I think this is really good, but let's set a little bit of rules, please. Let's not get too heated. We know we're passionate people here in this room. We all have been on some amazing things. We have different experiences, okay? So this discussion is gonna be amazing, but it's definitely one for Bass and all of those, you know, moving this industry forward and building it for us to just figure out what's happening and what things we need to tackle to change. All right, so before Indy gets started, let me give you guys her bio. So Indy Green, I call her Indy. Hey girl. How you doing? She is a creative entrepreneur who loves to tell stories. She's a highly capable actor, a producer of stage and screen content, and she is the producer of the stage play Joey the Musical, the television talk show excuse me, and the web series Witness. She local production houses to bring their creative vision to life. Indira is also the author of 2 books featuring stage plays. Please welcome former BASA board director and CEO of Greenacre Studios, Indira Reba Green.
Well, thank you so much, Ariana. I do appreciate it. And good evening, everyone. It's so good to see so many of you out this evening. We continue to thank you for being here and for being part of this community as we work towards progress and getting ourselves out there, and as Director getting louder in 2022. So my is going to be a collaborative effort, and it's going to be interactive. So I'm asking you to participate. We have minutes that we can dialogue. So I want you to come there. And I know for many of us and on other platforms where we have been asked to share. And sometimes it gets a little contentious. Sometimes our emotions come out because we feel like we're saying the same things over and over. But I want you to know for this evening, we have in place. We want to put some things in place. So you have to share, if you could, your ideas on how to make things better, how to make things work. That would definitely assist us. So let's get started. And my first question, and a lot of these questions are based on the survey that we just did, and then we'll go from there and see how it flows. But my first question has to do with creatives who are looking for work in the areas of their creativity. So can we get greater access to these jobs? How can we find, how can it be easier for us to find in the areas of our creative talent? And what we have writers, we have directors, we have crew, we have photographers, we have cinematographers, videographers. Do you find that you get stuck in a certain area, a certain field? Do you find that it's to actually what you want to do? Let's get it started. So Renee says visible. So what does that mean when you say be visible, Renee? You want the job to be visible. You want the person to be visible. You want the person to be more aggressive. When you say be visible, what does that mean? The person, you want the person to be visible. Okay, so then the person may ask, how can I be more visible? Because some persons, they're calling, they're networking, they're sending in their ways. What are they not doing? Or how can we help them to get better at getting out there so that they can get the jobs? Okay, having a portfolio or a display of body of work is key. Volunteering. Okay, volunteering is really good. I know it gets your foot in the door. It also helps you to network your time and services. You can also learn if you're working on a project, want to get into an area and you don't know how to get into it. Yes. A lot of people looking actively can't remember in the moment what people do. Okay, you might was the girl from the bar, but forget you met on set. That is true. Okay, whether that may be a link to your portfolio or IG, you have a standalone portfolio on site. Okay, so Travis, and speaking with portfolio, do all of us know how to put together a portfolio? Do we know how to put together a demo reel? Even if we've only had one acting credit to our name or one backstage credit. Maybe that's look at in terms of helping others build up their portfolio, knowing what to include and how to present it. Option. Either you or someone who acts as an agent can push your work on your behalf. Okay. Okay, Jay says as an adult that he needs to work on, and that's the portfolio and the so again, that for us and knowing that, okay, to have some sort of training session to help persons build up their portfolio, build up their demo reels, knowing what to include and how to present it in the best light. Okay, Tatiana says a database where people have that need roles that works in tandem. So that's part of what BASA does as well. I know in the past, and when I say in the past, I mean pre-COVID, because we know, of course, COVID changed a lot of things for us. So pre-COVID, when we would have meetings, we would also ask people, okay, if you're working on a project and you need something, you know, shout it out, let people looking what you're looking to get help with, so that if there's a person that they can be notified, they can have access, they can reach out, you know, you guys can contact each other and work on that. If you aren't good at pushing yourself, someone else needs to do it. Wow, that is interesting. Renee, persons who are not good at pushing yourself. Okay, that's an interesting one. What do you guys about that? Do you feel comfortable enough pushing yourselves, or do you need help and support in that area? Please let us know. We want to know. Making sure that as writers and storytellers, people have access to beta readers that can provide notes. Yes, very true, very true. Again, we realize too in our industry, we have to be open in our community, open to helping and to mentorship. And at times it does become time consuming. if you are working on a project and if you have to now go and mentor someone or read over someone's script or help someone out. So we want you to be aware of that. Sometimes if people reaching out and they're just starting and say, you know, I want to get interesting, but I don't know where to start and I'm reaching out to you. You have to be mindful of that as well. That could be in a lot of ways a cry for help. So it's very important that we understand that and we know what the community can bring, how help each other. If we're not able to, that we can point them at least in the direction of someone else. Okay, let me see. Almost like a job database online. Okay. Yeah, I think we can look at having an online database to be aware of, and I'm sure with as we develop the website, that'll be part of it, because then we can also put auditions happening. Persons can know about those if there are persons looking for crew, for cinematographers, for sound editors, the regular editors. That can be something that we can look. Okay, Travis, this is long. Along with your portfolio, if you're creative that has a broad set of services or creative outputs you do, packaging them up and almost having things set up as a menu of your offerings help provide a scaffold of what you can do, but also acts as a solid anchor point to negotiate and discuss compensation and costs. That is true. Ties into the question that Travon asked about, do you know how to market yourself to say that you can provide value to a project that you're working on? So that's a very valid point. So taking that knowledge of project budgets and packaging up, okay, exploring different subject areas and themes, encouraging creators to make content that can spark discussion. I am not sure what you're talking about there, Gerard. We're finding it hard to find employment because of different subject areas and themes. Okay, maybe if you want, I can elaborate on that, because that's unclear to me. So I'm just gonna move on now to the next one. If anybody been and say anything right there, now's the time. We just talked about what to get your project rolling, and everybody talked about financing. I did see Mr. Reed put in there gear. So other than financing, what else do you need to get you more jobs or have more creative productions in this year and into next year? What do you need? We know money is there. So beside money, like for us, are we comfortable enough with our writing skills? Do we feel that we can a production versus any international? Do we have enough production assistants? Do the production assistants know their job description and the role they play? For our persons who are on crew, do we have enough persons on crew? Do we need to train a person? Need solid crew and cast easily accessible to crew up my projects. Okay. Need more talent. Okay. So Jeffrey, when you say you need more talent, is it that the talent here not enough, whereas the talents are focused on other productions, or the talent is not up to? When you say you need more talent, if you could elaborate on that for us.
Definitely the talent here is more than enough for what I would need. Is just finding people within the range you're looking for, because there are people you can find, either young kids or young adults, but let's just say, for instance, you need a 80-year-old woman to play a role. That's not necessarily something that is easy to find here. 80-year-old person who would be interested in acting. So that's what I mean when I mean more talent. It's just a wider variety. Granted, the people here are more than capable of doing whatever does need to be done. I just wish there were more people on the whole that were interested, if you know what I mean.
Okay, yes, yes. Understand. Yes, and several persons are agreeing with you. Need to expand the pool. We need to expand the pool. Listen, ain't none of y'all have no aunties or Grammys or, you know, somebody there who say they want to be in a play or want to be in a film?
Just to elaborate on what he just said, it's very important to have like what he's, you know, an area within the organization where it not only scouts those high flying talents, but also grooms other people in you know, acting, editing, filming. Also, I personally think because it's so hard for filmmakers to funding, because really funding is the most important thing in only just filmmaking, but anything, but especially filmmaking because of the gear and everything else being so expensive. I think personally, I think that what we as a community focus on is getting enough funding to be able to purchase, let's just say like 5 areas, right? Let's just say we got, you know, enough gaffer equipment to make a Tyler Perry movie, it's type movie, or even a Marvel movie, because we have people here, I guess, in maybe in this chat or, you know, in NASA or who are very good on special effects, you know, almost up to the level of studios, you know, but we, you know, we never in contact with, you know, those higher up persons so that, you know, that we have that same level of experience. So I think that we need to have our own equipment and be able to, let's just say Trayvon Patton, he wanted to shoot, and we have the aerial access there, you know, so we have the board sits down, we approve the script, we like what he's going to present to the world on behalf of the Bahamas and our association. Let's all get together and make this happen. So it's kind of like not only it being a community, but it kind of like a studio, like a Marvel, you know, studio, or like, you know, and then it could be like a business. You know, you could still use it as a business, but more less to cultivate filmmaking and to be able to be independent enough to so much compete with the world, but at least in, you know, you need those aerial access to have like a, you know, I mean, and they have cameras now that could match the same quality, but when you really want to put on a big production and you really want to excel and you really want to showcase the Bahamas in a professional way, I would think that we would need to get ours on those cameras, and we would need to get funding. It's $500,000, $1 million, and we go and we could cultivate, you know, filmmakers. We can also produce movies and the likes.
Okay, Chris, let me ask you right now, for they talking about the aerial, do we have those in country now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know someone who has one.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we have them already, then maybe we don't need to ask for 5. Maybe we just need to source persons who have it now and bring them
I
on.
think
Yeah,
one,
that could work.
maybe
That could work also.
or not. I think there's maybe 2. I know there's 1 for sure, but there's maybe 2. and Ari fully decked out is over $100,000. Easy.
Yeah. So,
Thank
so,
you.
so with those types of equipments, it'll be good to bring people on board that would say, okay, we would like to help. So I'll loan you the Area Alexa, but you know, to lend somebody a $100,000 camera, you know, I think that being independent is very important, you know, for the association to have their own cameras and to have their own lights, anything that you need to make a movie and make it, you know, a good production. We should be able to have that like own, so we know.
Essentially, like a production house, you want vast production house where people can come in, and if they're a member, maybe use some of the equipment and at least monitored. You know, professional, right?
Yep.
Idea. I mean, it's a very costly idea, but I think if we have, you know, the right plan, we can work towards something similar. What do you guys think, Indy and Trevon? That's a really good idea, though, Chris.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Again, going back to what you said, if it's something so costly, we have to make sure the persons who are utilizing it know the correct way to use it. So again, that would call for training. But again, it's a good opportunity because now we can train persons on how to use the and the proper way to use the equipment.
Personally, I think.
Empowers-
Sorry, go on.
No, that was it.
My philosophy now, having seen, you know, the ARI in action, was certified with the ARI, and seeing the RED in action, it's funny that so much investment goes into these equipment, and they do produce a nice value. But what is happening is that there's been an evolution of technology, and I think there are a lot of medium format cameras that are coming out that can match a lot of that quality. Now the thing is that the ARI Alexa, they are called fail-proof systems. You have to be a real idiot, they say, to mess it up. But you can replicate a lot of those images. And in fact, I don't know if Leonardo Newman, he is here. He is actually doing a few experiments in color sciences where he is creating, he's changing the 3D dynamic of the color science of black magic and red to match the ARI. And it can be done because, you know, everybody is doing their manipulations in camera, so that you have to buy a higher production camera. But if we can get smarter with some things, we can actually get a few medium format cameras and be able to replicate that image. What I really think is we just need access. We just need access to some very high performing equipment. Our sound needs to get better. We need to be able to access good sound gear, gaffing gear. And yes, as he said, we need to have places where we can get these things. Hopefully we have the grants that'll be able to allow for those things. I think if you have a great story, nothing should stop you from having that made. And we just need to have all of the processes that are needed to make sure that if we find a good story that can compete globally, that can get made and that can look good on the world stage.
Okay. So based on, go ahead. Is that
Yeah,
Jeffrey?
I was saying I completely agree with Trevon. Granted, the Alexa isn't amazing. There are some medium format cameras, probably like the Sony FS7 or X3 or the Blackmagic or even an older RED camera. It doesn't cost nearly as much as ARRI Alexa, but it can still perform and give you quality work. So the Alexa isn't something that is necessary. I do strongly agree with the training, and not just in camera. We need to train people in proper sound design, proper lighting skills, gaffing, how to be the best boy. Production in those areas needs training. So it isn't just, I know this is like a room full of writers, directors, producers, and sound people, but they're so to creating a film, whether it be production design, special effects, like you said earlier, and all those other things that people need training for if we're going to create something that's going to be seen on the world stage. We need, like, a lot of people to be trained in those areas.
Yeah, I get you. So what I hear so far, training, mentorship, access to equipment, and of course, story. So going on to story now. We know makes a good story, because in our community, we have a lot of persons self-funding or self-taught. Do have those persons that have gone and gotten the qualifications through education. But for many of us, we have a project, we want to work on it, we put it together, well, if we write it or we get somebody else to write it, we direct it, we produce it, and we put it out there. Do we know that our stories are strong enough? And what makes a story strong enough? Because if I say, okay, I have a story I want to tell, and then Ariana has a story that she wants to tell, and how then do we decide what we're going to work on? What measure are we? So how do we need to also do training on storytelling? And I know Ms. Sands mentioned that the ministry has a call out for short stories. So are we going to participate in that? Are we going to actively go, even if our story doesn't get chosen? But it's a good opportunity to test your storytelling skills to see if it's up to par with what can be. Is that something we're thinking about or not really?
I honestly
Yes,
think.
it-
Sorry, go on.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Now I'm just reading the comments. Persons are talking about workshopping, pre-production skills, characters that feel real, feedback on scripts are necessary.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah. So go
we
ahead.
need specialists in our industry. I think sometimes we juggle too much. You're a writer, you're a director, you're a producer, you're the editor, and sometimes you've done it because the funding just isn't there. So you're not able to really focus in or really become that Swiss knife that you need to be to compete internationally. I think we need to create an environment that is friendly to writers. If you're just a writer, some people end up doing everything else because they feel like they're going to be left out of the action, or their work mightn't even be produced if they don't get into the action. So I think we need to create ways to strengthen writers as specialists. I've seen Sean Robbins from Broken Road Production. He came into town when Clarence had brought him in, and he had like 40 scripts in his knapsack. he was going through 40 scripts because when it comes to finding the right production, you might have to sift through a couple of things. So we need persons who are consistently writing. This is what you do. You're not caught up editing. You're not caught up trying to finish off a project. Your project is writing, and you're getting better at it as you go along. So we need to create an environment for them to even be funded, to get finance, to get access to skills, access to other writers. Hopefully there's a community formed, and maybe a system in which somebody is pulling on writers to say, hey, what do you got? Let me option this. Let me try to hold on to that. Usually studios do that, but we may need some sort of glue or some sort of gap to connect the writers with the producers who are able to make these things come to life.
Right. Okay. So very quickly, in the chat, those persons who are hyphenates, they're the slashers, writer, director, producer, producer, editor. What is your lean toward for those who do multiple things? What Trevon mentioned was very accurate, because for me, I found that I'm a multi-hyphenate, but in the last few years, especially with Cool Down, I found myself leaning towards writing. So I'm getting to the point now where I will let other people direct, I will let other people produce. I don't even want to do those things, because the writing for me just gives me the joy. that if someone can take it and run with it, I'm fine with it. So let me know what you guys lean toward. Ariana says producing, you're leaning towards producing. That's good. Anybody else? Writing, okay. Producing, writing. Nobody's leaning towards directing. Editing, okay, great. Chris, you're leaning towards directing? Okay, good, good. But see, now you see where we have the paths going. It's writing, it's acting, it's editing, it's producing, that sort of thing. Do we have any space for persons who want to just focus on crewing?
Yeah.
You know, and helping to build up a crew
I
team.
think,
Maybe
That's
that's
the
something
unit
we could look
production
at.
manager, by the way.
Yeah.
Frank note.
Yeah.
The UBS.
because there's a lot of because you know, a lot of times, like if you look at the text, a lot of the same, you know what I mean? The same,
Yeah.
we you know, there's a lot of us producers, directors, writers, but just like Javon and Jeff mentioned, there's so many other positions, you know, and not only basic crew, you know, like film productions need accountants for payroll, you know, caterers. So there's like, that's the beauty about film production. It touches an entire country community, you know. So
Yeah.
I think if we could definitely find ways to maybe introduce what those other positions is. People may not know, like an AD, an assistant director, was the role of an assistant director, an art director, a grip. And we have many people in here that I know that does some of these positions as well. And a lot of people that, at least one person that does these positions in the Bahamas, maybe workshops where these individuals can kind of talk about what they do. And then that next young person may be interested in understanding what a grip does, you know what I mean? And then want to do it and want to pursue it, you know? And my other, what I would love to see if it's a way that I could do it is to try to reach out to the other islands in the Bahamas, because a lot of times, you know what I mean, Nassau, Grand Bahama, you know, we find a lot of filmmakers and different people and creatives in those places, but I feel like the next Sydney could be in Auckland, you know? So if we could find ways to kind of reach out to the entire Bahamas, because that's the beauty of our country. Our country, we're not like Jamaica, where Jamaica is one land, archipelago of islands, you know? And we have so many talent, you know, and people that may not just know that Basa exists if you're in a family island that is less populated. So if we could find ways to reach out to those people in those islands, I think would be beautiful. Like, I'm pretty sure there's many actors, but they just don't know, you know, or the resources to get to it, you know?
Agreed. Okay, Ariana, just let me know how my thing.
I was just gonna tell you, I can we do it in like 5 minutes? Because we got, okay, yes. Great.
Yes, we can do it in 5. So then those things I want to talk about. When we look at the business of production, the business of stage, the business of screen, I want you guys to think about 2 things. Are pricing ourselves out of the market? Are we too expensive to hire? Are we setting our budgets too low? Can we do guerrilla production? Well, I know we've been doing guerrilla production because that's been the theme for the last several years for us when we to ship. But are we too expensive, or are we too low when we think about what it takes to get our production out? And then if you were to go before an investor now, how can you position yourself to get the budget that you need? Depends on the production. In a lot of rooms, we are very expensive. Okay, too cheap. Most of us are too cheap. Okay. What do we think? Are we, because that's 2 different points right there. So are we pricing ourselves accurately? Are we setting our budgets realistically? Comes down to story and the type of story we want to tell. If we want to tell something sci-fi or based, maybe that calls for a lot of gear, a lot of editing, a lot of things where the budget goes up as opposed to a simple narrative or a simple drama. Okay, you think Ariana means project?
No, I
Okay.
meant filmmakers, Renee. I've been in a lot of international projects where we want to bring on a Bahamian filmmaker, depending on what their roles are, and they're not with US or usually more expensive, so they bring their people in. Talked about this a long time ago, years ago, Renee, about the relation system. You know, people on board and talking about, okay, well, what are the rates? What's the rate in the market? I'll be honest with y'all. What we make here in Grand Bahama ain't what y'all making in Nassau. Like y'all making so much more than what we're making, you know? Like it's just, it really depends. I think that there are people who may be a lot cheaper, like Renee may know, but in my circle, I know of expensive filmmakers. Yeah. But
Okay.
my
Okay, great. Yeah, a lot of us don't know our rates. That is true. That is true. Too cheap, too expensive. Perhaps a standard needs to be set. That is correct. That is correct. A lot of things for us to think about, and these we want to push in 2022 and moving forward. So we want you guys to remember that we are a community and we are looking for all of us to make it, because when one of us succeeds, all of us succeeds. And when one of us can break out and get out there, then you can come back and share that knowledge with the rest of us so that the rest of us can be propelled as well. So move forward in this year. We noted what you said: training, access to equipment, story, and specialization. So think about those things moving forward as you work on your projects. And when we meet again, we hopefully will have some updates for you, but we will also be working behind the scenes and seeing how we can put some of these in place for you. We are a community and we want to help the community grow. So help us to help. Thank you so much for your time. I will turn it back now over to Ariana. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. I think it was a great discussion so far. Thank you all for, lending your opinions and also facts. We really appreciate it. This is how we're going to grow. So I don't want to keep everyone too long. We are actually going to be having 2 more sessions, meeting or segments, I should say. Up next, we have Miss Stephanie Neon. I'm going to introduce her just shortly. And then after that, we'll have a brief Q&A with her so you guys can ask her a couple of questions. We'll probably limit it to about 5. And then we're going to go to pitch your project with Lovato Stubbs. I know we got some people in here who've been dying for that part. So just bear with us for a few more minutes and then we're going to close. Okay. So if I am able to, Stephanie, we are going to get started with you. Are you ready? Is Stephanie still in the building?
Yes, I'm here. How's it going?
Yay!
For having me. This is awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. I'm so excited to actually see you and virtually meet you. I love your work and love what you're doing, Bahamas. Thank you so much. Let me start with some questions. I'm just going to give a little brief bio of you, if you don't mind, so people can get to know you a little bit. Alrighty, so we have Miss Stephanie K. Neon in the building, guys. She is an award-winning producer and casting director of Bahamian and Consent-Born in Nassau. Stephanie is known for being the creator, co-writer, and producer of the first children's TV show in the Bahamas. She also, which also stars an all-kid cast called Gumbe Kids. Gumbe Kids is an award-winning series airing on the RTV network on Rev, Cable Bahamas, and has had 3 seasons to date. Stephanie won Best Producer at the Cannes World Film Festival for Gumbe Kids, and the show also won Best TV Series. Congratulations again, Stephanie. The series boasts 5 international. Stephanie has worked on various productions with Bahamian and international production teams and is a TV and film producer at LFD Productions. Stephanie is also an official vendor, official guys, this part, official vendor, supplier, producer for Disney, ACNG for the Bahamas. Everybody welcome Stephanie. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. That's so nice of you. No, thanks so much. I'm always happy to have any part in helping our industry. It's something I'm very passionate about, and I think this is a great forum for new ideas, collaborations. I think it's really important as creatives that we all get together things. When the Ministry of Culture did something similar, I think it was a few months back. Hey, Leslie, I remember she was in there with me. It was, and Lovato. It was really nice. It was a really great way to connect and see what everybody's up to and how we can all support each other And, I think in this, more than work makes the dream work. Like, honestly, there's no production without a team, and a dedicated team at that. And, it's not an easy industry here. We really have to push hard to get anything done. And, it's not a straight line with funding. And we've only had a TV industry for a few years here. I mean, they think ILTV had some wonderful shows. Leslie was on The Stew and all those great shows. And then Red Thomas have had some great shows. And we're starting to see scripted shows. Where in the World is Wally? The trend with Gippy's Kingdom. And it's been an amazing thing to see capable of. And of course, I work on all sides of the industry. I'm a CMM agency, so talent is basically how I'm able to do what I do. It's because of that we have at the talent agency. It's because of the talent that we have Goombay Kids. It's obviously a very talented country that we live in, especially per capita. So I was highly inspired mainly by that, and nothing could have been done without that. So, I think we need nurturing in a lot of areas. I think we need nurturing in screenwriting, again, TV and film more and more. So, but it's something that some things we should focus on that. As a producer, give me some writing, and I'll make that's the thing that. I just don't have the writing, and I have the ideas so many times. Goombay Kids, I co-write, inspired, I have a vision, but at the same time, there's other ideas, but I just can't, develop them because I'm not really a writer in that regard where I can just come up with a million different things. So I really respect writers in that, but we have playwrights, but screenwriting is such a different thing. So, to think in scenes and that's something I think if we nurture that, we'll actually see a lot more birth of more productions. That's in my mind, one of the things that needs to be a lot of blooming editors and crew. And, I think really onto something. I'm very excited about it. I think we could lead in this industry too if we become a major player and get tax incentives going again that we had before 2007. And, that's something that I'm really think we can see again, because Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico are just leading in getting all those feature films. And I think we're more capable ever to work on the crew side than that we were when in the 90s when we had all these big ones coming, and we're talking about $70 million films that could spend a third to half of their budget in our country. And it's just purely pulled the tax incentives, when the economic crash happened. So, I think, with a little pushing and we all coming together, things happen. I see that our administration is more engaged than ever. Doing things for this industry and supporting it is really encouraging. Just think that all of us have to, as Bahamians too, and just Bahamian, I think we just have to be able to get exposure however we can, and whether that's submitting to competitions, whether it's film festivals, whether it's whatever, just get in, just try to push your work, get international eyes on it. Network, of course. There is an art to pitching, there really is. So you have to pitch your work a certain way, and relationships matter in this industry. But I think I'm highly encouraged, and I'm very excited because I just feel we're going in a direction that's, I don't know, kind of revolutionary, and I think like leading in the Caribbean even,
Yeah.
you know, like I think that we actually can like be trendsetters. And I think we have an advantage because we're like not so far out of the States. We actually are in a place where we like are almost, you know, culturally lead, you know, influenced by Americans, but influenced by Jamaicans, by Caribbeans. So we're like in this place where I feel like cultural and a melting pot of cultures. And so, and I think we should use that our advantage as well as our beautiful clear waters and, you know, all the incredible islands we have and what we can actually do here. I think the international market really wants to see, you know, from us, like things that kind of show who we are, you know, and that was kind of proven with the awards we won with Goombay Kids because it was a cultural episode that won the awards. It was the Legend of Junkanoo episode. So I think that, you know, it was confirming that, you know, like our culture is something the world is very excited to see. And I think Junkanoo has always been something that is well received, you know, internationally and by tourists. So it's amazing to see that it was well on that film festival circuit, you know, because there was no knowing if it were, you know, really.
And it's
Like we're
con.
all,
If
I'm
you
so
go
proud.
into con,
I know,
that's
but-
con for those who don't know. Like,
I know,
it's
and like
huge.
and Leslie, I'm so happy you're here because she's one of our producers who was, you know, a big part of that, and as well as one of our cast members. So yeah, you know, we're looking forward to season 4. We're already in pre-production, the swings of that. As soon as season 3 cuts, we start writing season 4. So it kind of doesn't end.
Yeah,
But
life, right?
yeah, I mean, see, it's just crucial, like writing and acting. You can get away with shaky production value if you have good writing and acting. Like those are the things that have to shine. And the writing is like for Goombay Kids, for example, we have 2 screenwriters, a folklore expert, Portia Sands. Did she leave us? Oh, she's so awesome.
Yeah.
And then she's our folklore expert
Oh, she's
as well
still here.
as
Sorry. She's still
oh
here.
yeah. Big up to Portia. And then we have our comedic writer. So, you know, a lot of times, I guess kids shows aren't thought of as comedy, but they actually are that kind of a comedy genre, although we have the adventure mixed in and the education. But yeah, we hope that Goombay Kids can be a vehicle for change in a lot of ways, you know, and we're looking to kind of push a global ambassador kind of climate change push at some point too. I think the Bahamas is one of you know, we understand more than anybody how climate change is real. And you know, I think like the prospect even that we could all be underwater. So I think that we have to like make sure, you know, we can do whatever we want about climate change, but if our children don't know and if they're not being educated, then no matter what we do, right? Because they're the future. So we feel like, you know, we're the perfect ambassadors for, we want to not, you know, it'll be organic and it'll be through the storyline, but we already have you know, we've already been having that tone with Mama Dilo being the ocean and island children and Papa Bois as protector of the forest. And so, you know, it's continuing that and that tone. But, you know, I think it's something really that kids shows extend the world, and they're not ever talking about it. And it's not like you have to use the words climate change, because I know they've been dragged through the mud, but it's really talking about solutions and protect your environment. And, you know, like we see it, like our coral reefs are dying and our shorelines are rising and their hurricanes are getting worse and it's getting hotter. Like we know it's hurricane, yeah, scary. So, I mean, it really is something where I think, you know, we're going to try to take it globally and partner with nonprofit organizations around the world and see if we can actually have a global push through that kind of thing as well. So, you know, there's a lot of good things the show can do. I feel like the world needs it. So hopefully like we can kind of get it out there and make some good change. But yeah, all the support we can get on that, we're trying to incorporate other islands. We want to have, you know, as much, you know, chemistry as possible. So anybody wants to get involved or has anything that they love to put towards that is exciting and welcome, you know. It takes a village. Leslie can tell you too, right? Those things. But I encourage everybody to just keep it up because everybody's doing a good job. I know a lot of talented people are in this room. So it's really cool. Hey, Rowena's in here too. Yeah, Rowena is a big part of Goombay Kids, and Bam. Oh my gosh, nurturing all part of keeping the legacy of the Poitier, Sidney Poitier alive. Oh my gosh, he'd be so proud of all the work she's doing, giving opportunity that he did not have. Lovato Stubbs, incredible director. Hey, right. We're hoping Love will be a part of Goombay season 4.
Yay! That's
Yeah,
amazing.
talking to him from home. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyways, I feel like I'm running on at this point, but thank you so much, for having me. It's been fun, and I would love to be a part of this any way I can and help any way I can because I love love being I'm a Bahamian,
Yes,
first of all,
go.
but also just believe in us so much and want to see us succeed, and I know we can, and we're well on our.
We definitely can. We're gonna have question answers with anyone else who's here, but before we do that, I wanted, if you can, Stephanie, to kind of give a little bit of insight for those who may not know about the tax incentive that was removed and how that kind of affected, our industry. Because I know about it, but I think a lot of people who are on this call may not know. So if you don't mind just giving a little bit more detail so that can go into the question answer.
Yeah, sure. You mean why it was removed, or
what it was, how filmmaking in the industry, why foreign productions need it,
Right. So the idea with it is that you would get, if you came to the Bahamas and you spent a certain amount of money on a film, you could either have a certain amount of percentage, spend a certain amount of percentage into the country. And if you do that, you could get money back. So that was the idea. There's a certain percentage amount of tax incentive that you can actually get back your money if you spend so much in the country. Actually worked well because the payoff was even better. And then in 2007, this before 2007, we were seeing all this for everything from Jaws to Flipper to After the Sunset, Into the Blue, what was it called? James Bond. It was constant. We were just. I mean, I was an extra in like 10 of those. It was so funny. There was like every other weekend, and it was just incredible films, the big budget films, But after 2007 crash, which was a horrific, economic crash, they pulled the tax incentives back, and we've been losing out to films constantly. Like it wasn't long ago that Adam Sandler was here for Happy Madison film. We lost it just because of, I guess they ended up doing it in Hawaii and there was a better it all comes down to money at the end of the day, right? If you're getting much money, you got to leave. It makes you wonder about even other projects that haven't made that said they were in the Bahamas or whatnot. I think that we definitely are well positioned. We're like a step out of the States, and we there's no reason that things shouldn't be filming here. I mean, we have bubbles pandemic, you can go to a different island and there's no one on it. Beautiful clear waters more than anyone else. I feel like we're just so well positioned. It makes sense. Have it something where the Florida Keys are about incentives, and if that happens, then we're really gonna be kind of screwed because we need say it's Bahamas probably pretty easily. But only Dominican and Puerto Rico have these tax incentives, and Dominican one that has a movie studio in the whole Caribbean. And they're just running things with that studio, and it's they get the majority of productions. And if we can just I feel like if we can get something going like that, we could definitely see some we'd be leading in the industry. But it happen until we have tax incentives. And I think that we're well on our way to that kind of stuff. And I think that, we might see some changes soon because there's some major game players that are actually working on things like this. So I think everybody should just, keep the faith that we could be leading in this industry before long.
Well, that was really good insight Right. Thank you for that. You got my hopes up. I know personally I've been hearing a lot from a lot of different parties, you know, how politics go. Yeah, you know, we're gonna make GB the capital of the film industry. Oh, we're gonna, you know, redo the film studio and this and that, and it hasn't happened. So that there are some game players, some major players who are, you know, trying to make this work and bring more films, you know, so that we all can have opportunity, right? It's about all of us having opportunities so that we can grow as an industry. So thank you for that. That was really good insight.
No problem.
All right. So I think we can open up for questions. Anybody has questions for Stephanie? Feel free to unmute yourself. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. There we go.
In your this is for Stephanie. In your opinion, in your experiences, how much do you think it would cost for Bahamas to have a full-fledged movie studio?
Cost. You know, that's a loading because, you know, in real estate, it's location, 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 right? So it depends where you go. It also depends how many, if you're gonna have phases, you know, if you're gonna do a few phases or if you're gonna go all in. I can't really throw a number at that. Same time, you know, you have to have plans, you'd have to work it out, you gotta do blueprint, you gotta think out your whole plan. You know, you need major investor, you need government probably approval. I know that there's people passionate and that want to try for this. I mean, hopefully something can work out at some point. I really think they're well positioned to do it, and I would support any way I can if anybody wants to do something like that. And you know, I think that we're on the right track. You know, I really do. I think that people are thinking this way, and that's really important. I think the more that we can create what we're doing and take it to an international stage, and you don't know if you try, so just try. You know, let's just like show we can habitually and show we can do things to professional standards, and I think, you know, all of this will just come, you know. They'll know that we're well positioned to do this. They'll know we'll have crews support. They'll know their government's on board. Facilities will come. You know, I think that we just have to continue to push. Supporting each other is everything, and it's really everything in this business. And you know, I've noticed there's two types of people. There's people who's threatened by each other, and there's people who support and partner with each other. There's no place for being threatened by each other in this industry. It really has to be partnering kind of sense. Like if these big productions come down, we all are going to have to get together and do this. Like back in the day, it would be, if James Bond came down, like for instance, like, and they didn't inhabit all the production companies we had, trust me, it would be like everybody we know will be willing to help because they needed a substantial amount of crew, like substantial. It would take a lot of heavy lifting. We're gonna have to come together. So no matter what, we're all gonna be working together. And if you're serious right now in production anyway, you're calling on each other. Like I'm constantly calling on different production companies, like, hey, I need a teleprompter. Do you guys have one? Ours is, you know, out. We constantly have to call on each other. We have to, even talent agencies, we're partnered at CMM agency with Brown Entertainment. If you know, we'll have productions come down that need 50 extras. And like, maybe we don't have 50 extras that are like 40 years old. So between the two of us, we do though. And so like, it's sometimes you need to, it takes a village. And like, because our industry is small, we do have to, there's gonna be where we want to show up and show out for like ABC network, and we're all to come together and just really do it together. So I mean, in my mind, there's no place for, you know, feeling threatened or she got this job and I didn't get this job, you know, like no, we really have to like, just, we're gonna need each other. This industry is serious, and like it's gonna get real. If we really want to do this, and we really want to come down, take it seriously, we want foreign money to come in here and make money off it so we can do that's like, we've got to seriously together. This room has that mentality because that's why you're here. But I know not everybody does. So like, you know, it's one of those things though. The people who will get ahead will understand that though. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, I really am inspired by everything going on, and I love his work in here. I admire everybody's work. I watch you. I see you.
Say Stephanie just took us to church. I hope y'all felt that. Okay, I hope y'all heard that message tonight. All right, there is no time, okay, for us to feel threatened. We are in this together, the Bahamas film industry, and we are growing together. All right, thank you so much, Chris. I know you didn't get a number, but in these things, unless you start putting your budgets together and you call different houses and, I want this equipment, I want this crew, you're gonna have to work on that budget, man. I can't give you that number, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty expensive, up in the millions, maybe even $1 billion. We never know. Depends on what you want. Do we have any other questions before we move on? I know we got one or two. We'll take one more. What, Stephanie? You were so amazing. We don't have any more
I do
questions.
know
Oh
a
my
lot. I do
goodness.
know a lot of the people here. We probably talked.
No, you were thorough. You were thorough. I will ask, you're amazing. We'll ask the last question. This one came from Director Trevon. So, what do you think our film should be doing to have a more effective industry? I know you talked about not being something that we need to be doing to be more effective. And then we'll close.
Honestly, like, okay, are we talking about on screen? I guess we are, right? Because that's more what
Yes, it's more what you do.
We need to be like thinking about how to get our things either, pitched properly. I noticed we have a lot of good ideas and we have a lot of talent, but we need focused on obviously executing properly, which we do, but there's an art to pitching, and it's something that really has to be done a certain way, and it has to be tight. That's something, that's a whole workshop in itself. But I think that wedding workshops, whether it's pitching workshops, like how to pitch your thing, how to get your pitch deck together, all your Bible, all that stuff. Like I feel like the kind of stuff we just have our industry with, and I know Rowena at BAM is doing as much as she can too, but obviously anytime we can get an industry profession or bring them into these Zooms from abroad, I think we should start doing that stuff, and like we can all ask questions and learn as well as much as possible. I think if we work to our industry and continue to educate on that side, we'll also see like us just obviously continue to do better. I mean, I never act like I know anything. I'm constantly leaning on my mentors, and I'm constantly trying to read more and learn more and be better. So I think you stay humble and you just keep working hard and knowing that and you can only improve if you keep trying hard and learning. But we have to nurture our younger generation. I mean, that's something I'm extremely passionate about, Rowena. So we have to, obviously our industry is inevitably going to grow if we need the younger ones. So, Goombay Kids is a vehicle for that as well. Hoping kids like building confidence, they're interested on the other side of the camera. And I just already know, even with all the kids loving editing their own videos at home and making their own videos, that we're going to see, more and more kids interested in production. And so if we nurture that, I think we're going to inevitably, our industry is going to just really grow and grow, right? And people that are supporting us, Fusion Superplex and Red Cable Bahamas and all these people, this is like the only, like, we couldn't do without them, or any of the sponsors. And everybody's really got to come together for any of this to happen, right? Support is appreciated and valued. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah. Amazing. Trevon says he is taking notes. I'm sure many of us are. And no, that is true. Our children definitely the future. They're the next generation, and it really starts with them. That's how we continue this thing. Kudos to you for doing it. I'm definitely in awe and inspired. So thank you so much. We have one question from Jay. We are going to move on to the pitching of your project. All right. So Jay asked tips for actors. Do you have any tips for actors looking for casting opportunities with you, LFD Productions?
Like we post for different productions that we're casting on with LFD Productions on our social pages. Obviously, I'm the co-founder of CMM Agency, so in the agent representation side, we have a team that also helps try to book actors on work and help them make sure that they have the tools they need to book work, whether that's their headshots, their resumes, their reels, so that they know how to self-tape audition properly, which is the majority of the way that we have auditions now. And just basically give the tools that they need and point them in the right direction for training, and then just give them all the opportunities and auditions that come our way, which is growing slowly, but like actors get frustrated because we still don't have a full industry here. It's kind of like we got voiceovers and we've got some like commercials, and then we get like we've only got like a handful of TV series in the country, right? And we only have a film or a short film. I think actors like that are passionate want to do this all day, every day. And of course we're aiming for, right? So we have more than we used to. So hopefully we're well on our way to a full-time career at this. That would be wonderful. The modeling side as well. Like I think models get more work in general with the tourism market, the resort wear, that kind of stuff. But I think we're all building and growing, and the pandemic set us all back. I mean, it was like 2 years we were set back, and now we see that our economy is recovering, and I think that we're going in the right direction. I'm feeling optimistic. I feel like we're really getting ourselves back, and God willing, we don't have any more natural disasters. I know.
No, for sure. Grandpa Mama cannot take another lick. Sorry. We cannot. Abaco neither. The whole Bahamas, we can't. Oh, well, thank you so much, Jay. I hope Stephanie answered your questions. Look for casting or get an agent. Join one of the agencies. I don't know if there's a certain criteria that you have to apply, but definitely check them out. All right. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you and all the work that to help build this industry. Please, Trevon, Stephanie, so we'll get her on board. Yes.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you again, Stephanie. We'll talk soon.
No problem. Thank you for having me, guys. Have a wonderful night.
Bye. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for. No, I'm just joking. Lovato, you ready? We got picture project. You ready? Like making it so dramatic. I'm gonna let you take it away.
So I just want to say congrats to Stephanie and the team on everything they're doing. That global reach is everything, them being on the global stage help grow our industry. So I just want to say congrats to you guys and a lot of familiar faces in there, everybody in here. I know mostly everyone in here, and I know you're doing great things to see the growth of our industry, the growth of BASA, So Stephanie hit on the main point. One of the things that she said that's important in our industry is pitching. And it's definitely an art to pitching, Most producers, writers, directors that are in here, at one point, you more than likely had to pitch to somebody, Writers got to pitch to directors to try to get them on their projects. Directors got to pitch to investors, actors, to get them involved in your project. So the art of pitching is a very important aspect of our industry. I've had to do so many pitches over the years to get projects. It's amazing, in the corporate world for commercials, you got to pitch. For music videos to the art pitch, So pitching is a very, very important part of our industry. And, we write concepts and treatments, obviously for projects, but it's you get that pitch is when you kind of seal the job, So it's a very important aspect. And then there's a lot of times where a particular corporate client may have a particular idea, but not until they hear the pitch I have, they kind of get excited and be like, okay, we want to go with that. We didn't think think of it that way. So a pitch is crucial. So tonight we have two amazing filmmakers, Ophir Newmore and Brianna Russell. They're both going to pitch today. And the way we're going to do it, I want us to do want them to do an elevator pitch. I'm sure all you know what an elevator pitch is, but if you the names, if you were in the elevator and the short amount of ride in the elevator, you have to pitch within that amount of time. And it's crucial that you have pitches that are short, because most of the times when you pitch, you're pitching to very busy people, and you need to hook them right away. You know, you have to hook them right away, because it might be a very, very important producer that could make your project amazing or fund your project, or production company, and you just have a short amount of time to bring across what you need them to get them hooked. You could always, once they're hooked, you could then send the treatment and the concept and everything after that. So it's very crucial. So Ophir and Brianna, you guys have 60 seconds. This might be a surprise to you, but you have 60 seconds to pitch your ideas to everybody. After you guys pitch, we'll open the floor to everybody to, you could give your feedback to them. Feedback is key, in anything, and that's one of the essentials being a filmmaker. You got to always take feedback. Always take constructive criticism as something that could build or change a project, because there's not one script that we've read. Like our favorite movie is the movie that just won an Oscar picture. There's multiple rewrites. There's never the first idea. I don't know anybody first screenplay draft, made. You're always making changes constantly. So definitely keep that in mind. So with that said, I guess any of you guys want to go first, or you want me to just pick? Ophir, Rana, you there?
We doing this in front of everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. I thought we was
That's
like,
a part of it. Oh,
it was like meeting with like, certain people and then doing it. Oh.
Yeah, but that's what it's all about. No matter where you are, you gotta. But before you guys start, if you could give a brief introduction. So since you talk, you're gonna go first.
No, my mouth too big, man.
Give an introduction first, and then I'll let you know when I have the time already, and then you'll go. Okay, but give your introduction to everybody first.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Ophir Newmore. I'm from Nassau, currently in Toronto. I started off in acting, doing a lot, got into film, and then through my mentor, Siobhan Patton, got into like production. I have subs obviously on a lot of production sets as his production assistant, and also with Siobhan as well. Me and one of my fellow creatives, Jeffrey Mackey, we did a film together back in 2019 for BIF, the 48-Hour Film Festival, and we won for Best Film. And I also worked with him on a film that he did that was award-winning at a few film festivals. And I'm currently in post-production for a short film called Retribution. It's a horror thriller right now, currently out soon. So I guess stay tuned for that. And yeah.
Okay, Brianna, I guess you can introduce yourself too. Ophir, you're gonna go first, but Brianna, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, good night, everyone. Like Lovato said, my name's Brianna Russell. I'm 16 years old. I am a fairly new screenwriter and aspiring director. I've been writing for about like 3 or 4 now, and I'm looking to explore the world of film like never before and put my name out there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So we're gonna start, and thank you guys for your introduction. the fact that you're going to pitch to us tonight, you guys are already winners, you know. It's amazing that, you know, that's one of the key things of filmmaking is building up that courage, you know. But the great thing is I'm sure you guys know your projects, and you know, you only you know how to bring across your project to us. So we're going to start with O. You ready? So I'll tell you when I'm going to say start, and then when it gets to 60 seconds, I'm going to say stop, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So my pitch for you guys, the title Brown Girl in the Ring. It's a horror, suspense, mystery. Horror is really what I want to get involved in. Sorry about that.
Okay, we can start again. Don't worry.
Okay. See someone talk. Okay.
So
okay,
we'll let you start again. Don't worry.
Okay.
You ready? You good?
I'm ready.
All right. Go.
Okay, so like I said, the name of the project is called Brown Girl in the Ring. It's free. Horror is really something that I'm passionate about and wanted to do as a filmmaker. I know I visited, if not, if you've ever visited Andes before and you've seen like the vastness of the pine forest. And, you know, we've heard that that persons have gotten lost there on many occasions. So now what if there was like a part of the forest that elders always said for you to stay away from? And two brothers end up venturing into these parks. So basically it would be a mixture of Hansel and Gretel meets The Ring. In facing a lot of economic hardship. And when people face hard times, they get into desperate situations. And so we're going to see in this film how desperation leads them into some unsavory circumstances. So the log line goes, after a family is threatened with being evicted.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'll just say something and then
Okay.
I hope everybody here give feedback and verbal feedback if you can. Open up your mics, you know. But that was really good. That was really plus it's a horror. You told us the title. You made comparisons. You did a lot in 60 seconds. And you know, it's really amazing, you know, that you brought across your pitch. We were interested right away, you know, brown girl in the ring. We all, you know, and I think that grabbed us right away, you know, the minute we had it. And then horror, and that's something that I feel isn't touched enough in the Caribbean, horror. So your first two lines kind of grabbed us right away. I mean, grabbed me personally. I'm sure everybody else think the same way. So and your description, and you were going into the description and into the forest and Hansel and Gretel, like you made that comparison to me. So I would say really good job on your pitch, man. You know, sounds like a really good, exciting film. I open the floor to any feedback or anything. Anybody?
Hi, Fear. Right here, I'm good. I really like the way you pointed out a description of it. So it gives the viewers their to it. So you said it beats The Ring.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself was really good because those images really get the people thinking about, okay, how do we mix the two of these into something new? So I just wanted to say I love that part of it.
Thank you.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I liked I liked that as well. That reference with the Hansel and Gretel and the ring part. I just have a question. You said it's called like that title. You said the characters are two boys.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. How does the title with the girl? Is there a girl in the movie?
Yeah.
Is that the
basically like a lot of kids have been going missing so they're like forbidden from going in the woods. So basically the little girl is one of the kids, and she kind of lures them in to playing this game called Brown Girl in the Ring. And one of the brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like it, and I like this. I like the Andrus. I like the Andrus backdrop as well. Using that as a back. All right. Just wanted to get.
No problem.
Okay.
Hi, Ophir. Ariana here. I want to echo what Moya and Indy said. I think you did a really, and Lovato, I think you did a really good job in captivating our attention, right? And relating to maybe something that we've watched already. I know since it's short, but that you have, not much more. So I love how you started with Imagine. I would suggest keeping that same, flow and tell a story. So get to the story quicker. Because we, like Moya asked, we didn't remember the two boys, but how does it relate to Brown Girl in the Ring? So you want to get that out first, make sure that, the whole story can be told in the first part of your 60 seconds. What is the reason and why? So we can kind of stay and hone into everything else that you're going to say. But that's it. I think you did a good job for not realizing how it should be. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Good evening, Portia Sands, Division of Culture. I think we met during the pandemic when we were by church and you came and gave us some pointers on lighting kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hear that you're in Canada and doing well. I like your pitch. I got some visual. I don't know if it's because I'm just imaginative. But I taught in Andros for about 4 years. And so the children in the pine forest is very common because the children go crabbing all the time without older persons accompanying them. So right away, I thought about that. And then I also about, I don't know if you remember, there were some children in South Andros who went missing for several days in the forest. And people had almost given up on them. And then the children mysteriously appeared out of the pine. And to this day, nobody's really sure what happened to them. So those things, those two images came to me right away when you started to talk about that. So I think the mystery of it, I think when you do the pitch, build the mystery of the story. It was good. It caused the imagery to come to mind right away.
Thank you, Portia.
All right, anybody else? All right, good. Oh, did you mention what it was? Was it a short film, a film?
I was gonna mention it, but didn't get a chance to get to it. I was basically thinking, depending on like the funding, because what funding wise, because of course, I wanted to like kind of package it where you have a writer, director, and that kind of thing. So either or, I was looking at either or option.
All right, good stuff. And you already have written and everything?
I got all of it written.
Okay, that's good. No. You have a start. That's what it's all about, You got the story, and that's the number one element, So you could then go ahead and make it happen, But yeah, it's a really, really good idea. And I would love to see more horror films, in our country, because we have so many amazing stories,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm actually open for a writer to assist me with it. If yeah. So
definitely put your contacts in the chat.
Okay.
Lovato, before you move on, can I mention really quickly, Ophir, when you're pitching to like maybe a production house that may want to take on your film, you have to be certain of where you're going with it. If you say either or, they may not take you to the next level. So, I mean, you didn't know this now, but you want to make sure you're certain of where you want to go. You can be flexible once you get the project picked up, but make sure you know where you want to.
Just one more question, Ariana.
Ariana?
Hi. I was saying I have one more questions.
Oh yeah, no, Fulfia, sorry, Lovato has this one. He
Oh, sorry, Lovato.
Moya.
My other question was, is it in this horror sense or is it thriller?
It's
Like
it's a horror.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff, good stuff. And another thing too, along with pictures, which is something that, especially with films, is pitch decks. So even though you're verbally pitching your idea, a lot of times a pitch deck helps get investors. So it's the pitch decks get up the storyboards, your log line, your synopsis, something that's basically a verbal pitch on paper, a proposal, and those things are very crucial in a film production, from short films to music video, to everything. And then it's the look, the look and the feel and everything. So that's a good element that, also that we need to keep in mind when it comes to pitching your films to investors and trying to get investors to sponsor. Pitch deck is everything, and just adding a little extra storyboard. Like I've had projects in the past where, boards and clients are like, wow, you made an effort to make storyboards. And there's some amazing storyboard artists in the country, that can do storyboards better than, so that's one of the things, I guess, BASA, one of these now, try to get those storyboard artists in here, because pre-production and that process and pitching is a big part. So we have him and storyboard artists that you could add to your project, which is really great. So yeah, but you did a good job, man. Really good job. Everybody give her a round of applause. And the one thing too, now that we're in the pandemic, now that we're in a pandemic, pitches is gonna be virtual like this, the in-person pitches is like almost no more, it's always virtual pitching now, and dealing with, trying to make everything happen virtually. And the good thing about that, if you do it virtually, you can share your screen, show your references, on the screen, which gives an added aspect to your pitch, So good job, man, good job. And definitely we all look to see in this film one day, this award-winning film. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Brianna, let me just get the timer up. Let me know if you're ready before I say go.
All right.
Okay, so I'll count down, okay? And then you'll go ahead. All right?
Yep.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Think to yourself, Emma, you are an exceptional, overachieving first-year medical student set to attach an MD title behind your name. Suddenly, after landing your dream internship at the biggest hospital in your city, breathing slows before you collapse, and you find out you have end-stage heart failure. Think to yourself, or imagine rather, what this must feel like. But Danielle doesn't need to imagine, because this is her reality. And one would surely think that this is the end for Daniela and her aspirations, but it's just the beginning. The Phantom Doctor tells the origin story of a vigilante doctor, a first-year medical resident at Summit General Hospital who secretly saves the lives of patients without a cure. However, one misstep could not only be the end of her dreams, but the end of her life. We all have aspirations, and we all something will prevent our dream. However, Daniela Mitchell doesn't allow this fear to paralyze her. Instead of focusing on wearing a doctor's coat or pondering on the me stop beating, she secretly moves around to own detriment to save the lives of those around her. Some may say what she's doing is wrong, and some may say what she's doing is right. This ethical dilemma will put demands on audiences from ages 17.
Time.
Okay.
All right. See, I know you weren't warned that it was 60 seconds pitch, so I definitely know you had to kind of change things around. And Brianna, you mentioned your age. You said you were 16?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, I must say, that's amazing, I love to see that, that it showed that we have a whole new generation of filmmakers coming up right now, and that shows that the power of film, and everybody in here, what they're doing is people. So good job on that, but good job on your pitch. Good job in your pitch. You definitely, you gave. I seen you you give a lot of that emotion on who your main character is, And I noticed that you focus a lot on the main character and character is going through, which is great. The only feedback I would give is one of the most important things is to kind of give your title right away, your title. And then you want to say what kind of film it is. Is it a drama? Is it a thriller? Those two elements at the very start, kind of gets people attention right away in terms of what they're about to hear or what they're about to. So that's one of the main feedback I would give, to you in terms of adding to your pitch. So the cool thing about this now is, you get in this feedback, you pitch it again, you have all the great feedback from these amazing Bahamian filmmakers in there. So, those two things would be one of the things I would say you should add to it. And then also, which is really great is kind of comparing it to something that exists now, that filmmakers may know. So for example, like, obviously it's not your film. It was to say like it's Lord of the Rings meet Titanic, you know what I mean? Sometimes that really helps because it gives a visual in like a few seconds. It gives a visual of what your film is about. And it's, it's always when you choose well-known movies, the producer or the production company you're pitching with, they know this movie right away and they can picture what this movie is about. Those would be the main things that I would tell you in terms of getting it across. You weren't. I know this was a twist. This was a movie twist to say it was 60 seconds. So I know again when you pitch it, I think I know you had to put a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. So a lot of things may have been missed. So anytime you do it again, you definitely would know of 60 seconds, But good job, man. Good job. And like I speak for everyone in here, being 16 and doing this, proud of you, man. You have an amazing you. So I want to open the floor to everybody else. Any feedback?
Hi, Brianna.
Hi there.
Hi. For me, I honestly didn't retain a lot of your key information. I think and again, Ross, you may not have intended to do it in 60 seconds. So it came off very rushed and kind of like you sped through it. As if you were to pitch it, what would this have been, a visual presentation or would it have been a verbal presentation? And was it it seemed like you were reading something. I could be wrong, as opposed to presenting it like from within from a passionate kind of place. Was it something you were writing and that's how you intended to present it, or were you intending to have visuals along with your presentation to pitch it?
I'd say that if I were to pitch this again, or how I originally, I'd have visuals to help along with my verbal presentation. Yeah, I had like a bunch of like bullet points that I had like down that I was talking from.
Okay. Okay. Kind of want to hear it. I was gonna say with Lovato's feedback with what was suggested, like if you want, I don't know Lovato, if you think she should try again with the feedback or no. I mean, because in the time, I don't want to take anyone's time.
Say that again, Moyo.
I was saying with you giving her the feedback, I kind of want to hear it again with the points that you gave her.
Mm-hmm. Do that, yeah, man. We could do that. That's what all about.
I mean, if she wants to,
you want to, Brianna?
kind of, yeah.
If she does, can she do it in 60 seconds?
No, it's still in 60 seconds, but just kind of like getting out like what the core of it.
Brianna, do you want to do it again in 60 seconds with the tips that you had so far?
I would could I hear some more feedback first before I do it again?
I have a question. I thought that it was a good pitch based on your age. There's still lot more, maturing, you know. But I think personally, I think what you should do is get the person to understand what type of movie it is, because there's different variations of film. You got the serious, um a feature film, then you got like reality TV. I think that first you need to get that person to understand what area of film you headed into, because from your pitch, it kind of sounds like some type of television, kind of like an ER type. I don't know. That's what came to mind, like a television show, something like that. But I don't know. But I mean, just in the future, just try to get the person who you to understand direction you headed in first, and then when you move forward, then they know exactly. Okay, yeah, this is a short film she's talking about, or this is a feature film she's talking about. So I think you did good for your age, but just try to know that that you could be 16, could pitch something that's like a Black Panther. Like it doesn't matter your age. So just take that into consideration to know your starting point and to get that clear, so the person know exactly what your idea is about, and then you could take it off from there.
Okay.
Can I
Matthew?
jump?
Yeah.
Okay. So the pro, not the pro, but I mean the pro running the show right now is Lovato. So he's gonna be able to tell you, listen, get that title up front and the genre and etc. So you really need to follow his lead on those practical things. The only thing that I can offer is a more generalized advice, wherein to say what the list said, tone is really important. And I think you hit that really well in the first third or so, right? I think your pitch was up front, possibly because you didn't know it was going to be 60 seconds. And so, that was the first part. So you did it well. I kind of think, though, that the writing got weaker as you went on, right? Renee pointed out in the chat that it did sound as if you were reading. One of the things that you want to be able to do is complete body the story, right? I mean, just memorize. I mean, you feel it as you're telling it. So that it's an impassioned thing that you are passing on to other people. Because at the end of the day, the biggest thing you want to leave them with is a particular emotion or set of emotions, right? As a writer, you know that. And so I just want to implore you to continue to think about tone, emotion. And then from a practical standpoint, it's all about the hook. Just practice the hook over and over and over again. And the last two pieces that you notice as well, cut, 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 kill your babies, right? And just get it down to where you think that it can't go any further, and try it in front of other people, and they'll tell you whether or not it can go, be cut anymore. And just from a practical life standpoint, for God's sake, do not ever, you said you were thinking about having visual aids. That's fine. You let visuals do the work of visuals. Do not ever put bullet points on slides, screen, period. Just don't do that, and you'll go far in life.
Yes, you want it to come from the heart. Sorry about it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You could go.
Oh, I was just saying, I want to make a suggestion. If there's anyone who wants to provide a one-on-one time to these amazing filmmakers, I think that would be really good, because we we are now. So Vado, I don't know if you have anything that you want to say or add, and then we can
Definitely.
close.
No, just want to say, good job on that pitch. Really, if you want to tell us what kind of film it is that you want to create, is it a short film, a feature, or TV?
The Phantom Doctor is a dramatic television show.
Oh, good stuff. Okay. That's really good. Oh man, that's really good. So I just want everybody to give her a round of applause. Good stuff. Good stuff. And and like I know both of you guys weren't prepared for 60 seconds, so I hope the both of you wrote any notes or anything like that that was said, because there was some really good feedback that was mentioned. Pitching is never easy. I pitched for years and I still don't like pitching. You know what I mean? It's always something. It's an art of pitching, and it's always something that no matter what level you're at, it's always something that you're going to be nervous to do. So I commend both of you guys. You did such a good job just by pitching to us. And leave your contacts, like Ariana said, in the chat, so you can connect with everybody. So we could hear more about both of these beautiful stories. So good job to the both of you.
All right. So here ends the reading. I'm just joking. We close. I just wanted to a really quick bio of Lovato. I think we missed that opportunity, Vado, and I need to do that for you. So those who do not, please know that Lovato Stubbs is an award-winning director and producer. He was born and raised in Nassau, Bahamas. He harnessed his talents early on in his hometown before branching out to the United States via Los Angeles and Canada via Toronto. And over the years, Lovato has developed a style rooted in Bahamian culture to bring the world a visual style that has yet to be seen before. He is the CEO and owner, director and producer of Kunk Boy. So thanks again, Lovato, for being here with us. Let's give him a round of applause, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Great to be here, man. Just happy to see this growth, and like I said, so many familiar faces in here and new faces as well. So I'm just happy to see the growth and see the continued growth of our industry, man. Like I said, Brianna, you being 16, that's amazing. We want to have more 16-year-olds in the Bahamas want to be filmmakers.
Amen. No, that's so true. So true. Thank you, Brianna. And thank you everyone for being here. Yes, Mr. Kunk Boy, Mr. Make Films, Not War. We love it. We love it. We love it. Good job, Ophir. Good job, Brianna. Good job to all of y'all for being here. Or minutes before we close, please let's network. Put your handles in the chat. Follow each other. Let's not be threatened. Let's not, let's follow each other. Let's see what we got going on. You never know. Your next big break may be on somebody's set. So go ahead, put your handles in the chat. I'm gonna put mine. Let's follow each other. We are going to be following everybody. I'm gonna leave it up for a little bit. You guys just copy and paste and follow everybody. All right. We'll probably also be sending this over. Trevon, you can let me know if I'm wrong, but we're gonna be sending over this recording to everybody, and we have some information that we're gonna be sending to. So take down names. Look in the chat if there's anybody who interests you. Connect, network. All right. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. We all got projects going on. I'm sure that, we want other people to see or be a part of. This is how we do it. Don't be shy. I just do bad with that, guys. I want to ask for people my stuff or even market. I'm so bad at that. So guys, don't be like me. Put your stuff in the chat. Let's follow each other and okay? Let's see what we got going on. All right, well, with that said, guys, I want to thank y'all so much for giving your 2.5 hours with us. Well, actually, yeah, almost 2.5 hours with us, on your Friday Junior. Thank y'all again. Amazing community. BASA is just getting started and we're getting loud, right? So before we close, I don't know if Director Trevon has anything to say. Trevon?
I thought it was a great night. I thought it was a great night, and I definitely want to say how proud I am of Fair Moore and Brianna Russell. Pitching is, some may say, the most difficult thing in the world, but that's how you get the funding. You have to walk this road, and you have to be able to say, this is what the story is, and this is what I want for it. And the more we continue to do it, the greater opportunities we're going to get. So definitely thankful for all those that have participated. Thank you, Ariana. You've been a great host. And I want to thank all of the directors that have been on this call, and Indira, who's led a great discussion. Lovato, always doing a great job, and definitely a trailblazer for especially persons who want to get into the industry. And just very thankful for all those persons who are here. And Matthew, he has also put together the poll. So we maybe just put that in the chat. So yeah, as Ariana said, we'll send this recording to you. And we'll continue to update you as to what we're doing in the future.
Yes, 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 yes. And just a tip, seconds. If you're writing these names down and handles down, feel free to just do a quick screenshot on your phone if you're on your phone or on your computer. I know we got a message saying that the pair, and it will, but shot it. It won't, you'll have it. So you'll get everybody's contacts right away. So a few more to do that, screenshot away, scroll up, get everybody's contacts. Let's network, let's network. All right, and then we're gonna be nice. Thanks again. Look out for everything that we're gonna be doing with BASA in the next few days to months. Follow the page if you're not following it yet. A lot of things are, and if you wanna be a part of BASA, please reach out to either myself, Moya, Matthew, Indy even. We'll get you on board. All right. Thanks again, Renee. Yes, yes, yes. There are contacts on the spreadsheet too. So we'll look at that. But if you wanna contact us, look at the spreadsheet. I think Renee, you sent a link, right? So you guys can look at that, contact us, or just, you have our now, reach out to us. We don't bite. We love people. We love y'all. All right, guys, I think that's it. I know but y'all, but enjoy the rest of y'all night. And so much. Have a great one. Bye.
See you later, everybody.
Good night.
Night.